Hello, Overswarm. This is once again Aldair. And if you already watched my Zerg vs Protoss matchup replay, you know I have something a little special planned in mind for this one, which is why we're going over at 1 time and ×2 speed. So I have a little bit of an opportunity to talk about exactly what I want to talk about for this setup. And basically, it's going to be this. I'm going to drink real quick. Doing 3 plays in a row does tire the throat. Basically, what I want to go over in this particular game is a concept called Yomi. And if you've ever read Playing to Win by George Serlin, you know what I'm talking about already. But if you have not, go to www.serlin.net, and he has his book Playing to Win on his website for free, or you can actually help the guy out and buy the book and just be a nice guy. But more on Yomi. Yomi is a skill that you already have and execute, and you don't even know it, but because you don't know you're doing it, you're not doing it as effectively or efficiently as you can be. What Yomi is, at its very core, is I think this guy is going to do X, so I'm going to do Y, so I beat X, and then I win the game. That's basically what it is, and you do that all the time, and we say it's counters. But whatever it is, it's saying, I see X, I'm going to do Y, so unless this guy goes Z, I'm going to win. And the reason why I didn't do this specific kind of mentality in the Zerg vs Terran or the Zerg vs Protoss matchups was because there were specific things in those replays that I wanted to talk about, and it doesn't really help so much in those games because those two setups are so drastically different from Zerg vs Zerg, because as everybody knows, right, Zerg vs Zerg is a rock, paper, scissors crapshoot that you hope you win. Or you can use Yomi and make the game a science and win every time. And then once you get good enough at the science, you can make it become an art and you stop losing at all. And that's what I hope I can make you do in this setup. And 12 minutes and 52 seconds, I am that awesome. So, going on and actually expanding on the concept of looking at your opponent and analyzing what they are doing while doing everything else. And that is what I believe is the heart and soul of StarCraft and every RTS game, and every competition, and every other game where the objective is to win. I believe that is the purpose and the best way to go about playing this game, exercising Yomi. Just scouting with your overlords, with your zerglings, with your drones, seeing what the other guy is going to do, and then beating it. Now, I know what anybody is watching this replay is thinking. Well, I do that. Yes, you do, but you don't do it as efficiently as you can because you're not actively thinking like that. Or at least you're probably not. If you're not, I hate to say this, if you're not like in the top 10% of Diamond, hell, that's not even me. If you're not thinking like that, you're not, unless you're that high, you really don't really need to think like that, because really in the platinum, low diamond, who the hell cares? I mean, at that level, it's who makes more stuff than the other guy. Send it and be done with the game. Like I was watching two of my silver friends today. The game literally came down to who had more stuff than the other guy and then who screwed up last. That was literally what it came down to, and I can apply that same formula to just about every game ever played from, like, just a little bit below the Pro League down, because people just, for whatever reason, don't actively think, I see this, so I need to do this. And, like, Day 9 says this. If you've watched the Day 9 dailies, Day 9 has said this. You want to actually not think while playing. You want to react, and that's the art form of Yomi. Just going, bam, I am so good at knowing what you're going to do, I don't even have to think to beat you. But the ×2 is done, which means I've run out of time to talk. So I'm going to take another drink real quick, and then we'll go on and analyze this game specifically. Alright, let's back it up. So here we are, start of the game, and apparently player number 2 is lagging a little bit. I haven't actually read all that many of your text chats. I just went through it on ×8 and then again on ×2. Excuse me once. Again, the bane of talking for 3 hours, 4.5 almost, it seems like, on end. But, for the start of the game, Zerg vs. Zerg, the first 6 minutes are what I consider to be the crucial time of the game, where it's either going to be won or it's going to be lost, or you might find that unique balance and continue into the mid and eventually the late game. This first 6 minutes of the game, excuse me, is surviving a 6 pool or a 9 pool with as late a pool as you can get away with. Like, we'll go ahead and open the All tab, pause the game real quick. You opted for a 10 pool. I'm not going to say that is bad, because a 10 pool is a very safe build. However, the 13, 14, and even 15 pool not only will protect you from a 10 pool, but it will give you such a significant advantage. Like, Blue, in this case, is waiting to see when your spawning pool goes down before placing his, because he already has an economic advantage, and that's a wonderful thing to start the game off with. Like, my standard Zerg vs. Zerg strategy on any game, on any map other than Steps of War, is a 14 hatchery, believe it or not. 14 hatchery, 13 pool, 12 gas. This is just because most Zergs in the diamond level will not 6-pool you. Just not 6-pool you. It's almost not a threat at all. It's just very rare. And here's his spawning pool after his thing, and there's his drone count. He has 8 drones on the mineral line, and you have a lot more because you don't have any on gas, and you're making a fool out of myself real time. Aren't I grand? Let me do this real quick. You haven't scouted him. I'm going to go ahead and pause the game. I also have the tendency to not scout in Zerg vs. Zerg, but I kick myself every time I don't, because scouting is really essential in Zerg vs. Zerg especially. Like, in Zerg vs. Terran and Zerg vs. Protoss, scouting just seems like such a nonsensical thing to not do, that you do it anyways just so you don't feel bad about yourself. But in Zerg vs. Zerg, it's like every drone counts, which is why we delay the spawning pool so long, or rather as long as we can, so that way we get every little extra mineral we can get. But then you don't scout. So you have no idea what this other guy is doing until that overlord that you have down here actually gets there. And that it's just not a smart thing to do. Like, you can get away with it on Steps of War-ish. You can definitely get away with it on Scrap Station. Incineration Zone, if you remember that map from the beta. That map was okay to not do it on. But just always scout with a drone, because it's so good to know what the other guy's doing. It makes you feel so much safer. Because you blindly do a 10 pool build, and great, like I said, a 10 pool is very, very safe. But this 14 pool is going to beat you. And it's literally going to beat you by 3 seconds, and that's the hilarious part. Because here go your Zerglings pretty much exactly on time, but oh look, now you're not going to actually do any damage. That's what Zerg vs. Zerg boils down to in a nutshell. See, here you are, you're in his base, he has a huge drone count advantage over you, and he has a queen, so do you. Well,